Have you ever wondered how it feels to fight a battle that only you can see? In the realm of the human mind, not all battles are fought on visible grounds. Some wars rage silently, unseen and often misunderstood. Among these invisible struggles is the one waged by people journeying through mental health disorders. Mental health, to many, remains an enigma. It's an intricate tapestry of thoughts, feelings, and behaviors that define who we are and how we perceive the world around us. Yet, despite its significance, mental health is often stigmatized, shrouded in misconceptions and prejudice. It's high time we shed light on these unseen struggles, and one of the most misunderstood among them is schizophrenia. Schizophrenia. The word itself may evoke a sense of unease, a shadow of fear. It's a condition that's been sensationalized in media, often painted with broad strokes of misconception that do more harm than good. But what is schizophrenia, really? Schizophrenia is a chronic mental health disorder that alters a person's perception of reality. It's not about split personalities or violent tendencies, as often portrayed in movies or books. It's much more complex, much more nuanced, and much more human. It's about the way a person thinks, feels, and behaves. It's about the voices only they can hear, the delusions that seem so real, and the disorganized thoughts that can make daily life a challenge. But most importantly, schizophrenia is about the people living with it. The individuals who, every day, face this unseen battle with courage and resilience. These are real people with real stories, fighting a real battle that only they can see. Understanding schizophrenia is not just about understanding the symptoms or the medical jargon. It's about understanding the human experience, the struggles, and the triumphs. It's about empathy, acceptance, and support. Schizophrenia is not just about hearing voices or having delusions. It's a complex condition that affects every aspect of a person's life. This is the unseen battle. This is schizophrenia. So what exactly is schizophrenia, you might ask? Well, it's a long-term mental health condition that causes a range of different psychological symptoms. These can include hallucinations, delusions, and muddled thoughts based on distorted perceptions or irrational ideas. Historically, the term schizophrenia was first used over a century ago in the early 20th century by Swiss psychiatrist Eugen Bleuler. It comes from the Greek words schizo, meaning split, and phren, meaning mind, reflecting the fragmented thinking of individuals with the disorder. In the present day, our understanding of schizophrenia has evolved significantly. We now know that it's not about having a split personality, as the name might suggest, but rather about experiencing a disjointed reality. Let's delve into the factors that contribute to the development of schizophrenia. These are typically categorized into three categories: biological, psychological, and environmental. Biologically, it's been found that certain genetic factors can make a person more susceptible to developing schizophrenia. For instance, you're more likely to develop the condition if a close family member like a parent or sibling has it. Psychologically, it's believed that increased levels of stress can trigger schizophrenia in those who are predisposed to it. This is where our environment comes into play. Living in an urban environment, experiencing social isolation, or going through traumatic events can all increase the likelihood of developing schizophrenia. It's important to remember that while these factors can increase risk, they don't guarantee that someone will develop schizophrenia. It's a complex disorder with a multitude of contributing elements, and it affects each person differently. Now, you might be wondering about treatment. Well, while there's no cure for schizophrenia, it's not a life sentence. With the right treatment and support, many people with schizophrenia are able to lead fulfilling, meaningful lives. So, in essence, schizophrenia is a complex disorder that involves a combination of genetic, psychological, and environmental factors. It's a condition that we're still learning about, and as our understanding grows, so does our ability to provide effective support and treatments for those living with it. What does it mean to live with schizophrenia? What are the symptoms? To answer these questions, we must delve into the three main categories of symptoms: positive, negative, and cognitive. Positive symptoms don't mean they're good, rather they refer to psychotic behaviors not generally seen in healthy individuals. Negative symptoms are associated with disruptions to normal emotions and behaviors. Cognitive symptoms involve cognitive processing. Let's unpack these symptoms further. Positive symptoms include hallucinations and delusions. Hallucinations involve experiencing things that aren't there, like hearing voices or seeing people who don't exist. Delusions, on the other hand, are fixed, false beliefs that remain unchanged, even in the face of conflicting evidence. Imagine being convinced that you're a famous historical figure, or that someone is out to get you. These symptoms can be deeply unsettling, making it difficult for those affected to distinguish reality from their distorted perceptions. Moving on to negative symptoms, these often include lack of motivation and social withdrawal. A person with schizophrenia may have a hard time initiating and sustaining planned activities. They may lose interest in everyday tasks, neglecting personal hygiene or skipping meals. Social withdrawal is also common, where individuals may retreat from friends and family, often leading to isolation. These symptoms can make it incredibly challenging for those affected to maintain relationships and lead fulfilling lives. Cognitive symptoms, the third category, include disorganized thinking and difficulty focusing. Disorganized thinking can manifest as trouble keeping track of thoughts and conversations, leading to disjointed speech. Difficulty focusing can make it hard to concentrate, remember things, or make decisions. These symptoms can interfere with a person's ability to carry out everyday tasks, like cooking a meal or paying bills. So, what's the impact of these symptoms on a person's life and relationships? Well, the effects of schizophrenia are far-reaching. The struggle to distinguish between what's real and what's not can create a profound sense of fear and confusion, often leading to distress and emotional turmoil. The isolation brought on by social withdrawal can lead to loneliness and depression, and the cognitive challenges can make it hard to hold down a job or live independently. Schizophrenia can also strain relationships. Loved ones may struggle to understand the condition and how best to support the individual. This can lead to feelings of frustration, sadness, and helplessness on both sides. In essence, living with schizophrenia is like navigating through a constantly shifting landscape, where reality and illusion blur, and everyday tasks can become monumental challenges. The effects of schizophrenia are not just mental, they can have a profound impact on a person's life and relationships. Schizophrenia is often misunderstood, leading to many myths and misconceptions. As we delve into this section, we aim to debunk some of these common fallacies and provide you with accurate information. First on the list is the widely held belief that individuals with schizophrenia have multiple personalities. This is absolutely incorrect. Schizophrenia is a mental disorder characterized by disruptions in thought processes, perceptions, emotional responsiveness, and social interactions. It does not involve a splitting of personalities, which is a completely different disorder known as dissociative identity disorder. The second myth we often encounter is the notion that people with schizophrenia are inherently violent or dangerous. While it's true that some individuals with severe mental illnesses may exhibit violent behavior, it's crucial to understand that this is not a defining characteristic of schizophrenia. In fact, research has consistently shown that people with schizophrenia are more likely to be victims of violence rather than the perpetrators. It's unfortunate that sensationalized media portrayals often perpetuate this stereotype, further stigmatizing those with the condition. Another myth we need to dispel is that schizophrenia is a rare condition. It's not. Schizophrenia affects approximately 1% of the world's population, making it more common than you might think. Lastly, there's a common belief that people with schizophrenia can't lead normal, productive lives. This is far from the truth. With the right treatment, support, and understanding, individuals with schizophrenia can indeed lead fulfilling lives. There are countless stories of people with schizophrenia who have excelled in their careers, raised families, and contributed significantly to their communities. To sum up, schizophrenia does not equate to multiple personalities, violent tendencies, rarity, or an inability to lead a normal life. These are myths that only serve to stigmatize and isolate those living with the condition. Understanding schizophrenia is the first step towards reducing stigma and providing support to those affected. Let's continue to educate ourselves and others, and promote a more compassionate and understanding society for all. Let's take a moment to summarize what we've learned about schizophrenia. We delved into the unseen battle, understanding that schizophrenia is a severe mental disorder characterized by disruptions in thought processes, perceptions, emotional responsiveness, and sense of self. We then explored the symptoms and effects of schizophrenia, which can range from hallucinations, delusions, and disorganized speech, to decreased participation in daily activities and diminished emotional expression. These symptoms can be incredibly challenging to navigate, bringing us to the importance of understanding and empathy. In Debunking Myths, we highlighted how schizophrenia is not a split personality disorder, nor does it make someone inherently dangerous. These misconceptions only contribute to the stigma surrounding this mental illness, further isolating those affected. In conclusion, schizophrenia is a complex mental illness that deserves our understanding and compassion. The more we learn, the better we can support those living with it. Remember, mental illness is not a choice, but stigma and ignorance are. Let's choose understanding and empathy instead.